Hey everybody, this is Chris with Night of Living Card Games. Today, instead of starting up the Sinister Motives Random Hero Random Aspect campaign, I'm going to take a little break and run through a new deck that VillainTheory has created and put out there as kind of a challenge for the various content creators. So, for those not familiar with them, VillainTheory is a prolific deck builder in the Marvel Champions community. Throws a lot of amazing decks up on Marvel CDB, and I know I've used several of them. A lot of interesting decks. They work together really well, well thought out, and just great fun plays. So right now, what they're doing is they're publishing a deck per week to celebrate all the heroes and versatility leading up to the next box set, which is due out in, I think, the second half of August. So what they are doing is just coming up with just unusual takes on some of the heroes. So for week one, VillainTheory has put together a Shadowcat leadership deck. And what it focuses on is the Iron Man ally. So the goal is to get Iron Man ally out and then put all the upgrades on them. Throw honorary X-Men to make them an X-Men, then put Danger Room training, Inspired, Sidearm, and all that stuff. So you can bump Iron Man up to kind of ridiculous proportions and just have Iron Man do all the heavy lifting for you, while Shadowcat just sits there and defends and takes nothing. So it's not the typical tribal X-Men deck, so it should be very interesting. So I did randomize what villain and modular set I'm playing against. The old wheel of villains came up with Absorbing Man, and since he tends to be a little bit of an easier one, I decided to put him on the expert mode. And the random encounter set that was picked was Whispers of Paranoia. So this should be interesting to see. For those not familiar with Absorbing Man, starting at stage 2, is a 2-scheme, 2-attack brute villain. And he gains the trait of each environment in play. And because this is stage 2, you start out with the super absorbing power in place. And super absorbing power is a 3-threat per player side scheme, and it says that Absorbing Man gains all the possible traits. So if you haven't played him before, Absorbing Man, certain encounter cards and treacheries trigger off of whatever trait he has. All right, looking at his main scheme, it is just a 1-scheme main scheme. Setup instructions are discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an environment is discarded, put that card into play, and shuffle it. And shuffle the discard pile into the deck. So basically, we're searching for an environment that has one of these traits, and then we'll reshuffle the deck. Because I'd love to get rid of shadows. Here we go. So Snowy Hillside is an environment with the ice trait, and all of the environments will have a force response, which is basically if you don't defend the attack, something bad happens. So in the case of ice, after Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, place 1 threat on the main scheme, 2 threat instead if there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme. We'll put that there. Now we got to shuffle this in. As far as delay counters go, in the campaign, Absorbing Man is trying to delay you to allow people to get away with one of the Infinity Stones. So what it is on his main scheme, it is a 12 threat per player scheme. It starts with 2, goes up 1 per player per round. But after you place threat there at the beginning of a round, you place 1 delay counter on it. There are 1 or 2 treacheries, I think, that trigger off of the number of delay counters there. And then it comes back later on, I think in Red Skull in the campaign, where the number of delay counters will impact you. All right, got that shuffled up. Get my 2 threat on the main. So taking a look at Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat. So real quick, go through her. She is a 9 hit point, 3 recovery, 6 hand size mutant. And for setup, you put your mass form upgrade into play, solid side up. And as an alter ego action, you can flip the mass form upgrade. Hero side, 5 hand size, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. And selective intangibility. When you are in phased mass form, Shadowcat ignores guard and patrol keywords as well as any crisis icons. So that is handy. And importantly, her phased mass form has 2 sides. Starts with solid. It is permanent. And then as a hero resource, you can exhaust this card to generate a physical resource for an attack or defense event. And then as a response, after you attack or defend in solid mass form, you can flip this card. This is not forced, so this is a choice. The other side is phased. And this is the key side. While Shadowcat is defending, she cannot take damage. And this has a forced response after you attack or defend in phased mass form. Flip this card over. So when you're phased, you have to flip after you attack or defend. In solid, it is your choice. And if you can defend in phased form, that's ideal because you take no damage. All right, so I think we got everything here. Let's draw up our opening hand and let's see how we go. So this one, the instructions are basically hard mulligan for Iron Man or call for aid. And hey, look, I got Iron Man in my opening hand. So I'm going to keep him. Let's see. He is a 4 cost, so he is not cheap. That is for sure. I'm going to keep my room and airwalk the thwarting event just to see. They may end up being resources, but let's see. We'll draw up the 3 more. Innovation, Shadowcat surprise, and Machine Man. All right. All right, so let's see. What are we going to do here? So basically, I don't have enough to play Iron Man and Airwalk. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to spend Machine Man to get Kitty's Room into play. Kitty's Room is a 1-cost support with the location trait. Alter ego action, exhaust the room, and if you're in solid mass form, heal 2 damage. If you're in phase mass form, draw 1 card. So I'm going to use my ability to switch over to phased form. And then I'm going to use my room to draw a card. Oh, genius. That is handy, but not going to do me a lot here. So what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to spend Genius, Shadowcat Surprise, and Airwalk to play Iron Man. So Iron Man is a 4-cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit point ally with the Avengers trait. And he reduces the cost to play each upgrade on Iron Man by 1. So he is an excellent Voltron candidate. So I'm going to hold on to Innovation, which is a single wild icon resource, but it does have your hero response after you spend this card, heal 1 damage from an ally you control, so I'll be able to heal him up. And so let's flip up onto our hero side. You know what? We're going to thwart with both of these 2. Let's just get rid of super absorbing power. I don't particularly like having him have all those traits. I've gotten hit too many times by the treacheries that do things for each one that he has, and I don't like getting hit by all 4. Right. That's all I've got. So again, I'm going to hold on to Innovation, ready myself up, draw back up to 5. So Innovation, Strength, Phase Strike, Call for Aid, and Game Time. All right, so we get 1 on the main in the villain phase, which gives him a delay counter. Got all the nice by the same token delay counters to go with the theme. He is coming to attack. Shadowcat is going to defend, so while in phase form, I'm going to take no damage. So attacking for 2, 3, 4, and an asterisk. If Absorbing Man has the ice or metal trait, give him a tough status card. He does have the ice trait, So he gets a tough status card. He hits me for 4, but I can't take any damage. And this is, if it was an undefended attack, place 1 threat on the main scheme. I defended, so it doesn't matter. Because I defended, though, I am forced to flip back over into solid form. All right, so encounter card is Rocky Outcrop. So this is another environment, the stone, and it will have a forced response after Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you. Heal 1 damage from him, 2 damage instead if there are 5 or more delay counters. So we put this into play, discard the other one, but it does have Surge, so we get Abandoned Facility. So this one is, if it's an unoffended attack, discard 1 resource from your hand, 2 if there are 5 or more delay counters. And that is the metal trait. And now we get Permanently Phase. Flip your mass upgrade to Phase. I cannot attack, defend, or change mass forms. Alter ego action, exhaust Kitty Pride, and remove Permanently Phased from the game. Well, that is not ideal because I am exhausted, so I can't do much of anything right now. Fortunately, the only card in my hand that is of any value to me is an attack event, which I cannot do. Okay, so I guess we're going to flip down. I'm in phased form, so I'm going to use the room to draw a card. Let's see if I get something to... So the keys for Iron Man are Danger Room Training. So it's a training upgrade to put him on. Put on him, it gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, +1 hit point. And then Game Time, which is a hero action. Choose an ally with a training upgrade attached. Ready that ally and heal 1 damage from him. Unfortunately, he has to be an X-Men to get the Danger Room training, and I haven't gotten to an honorary X-Men yet. So I've got literally nothing I can spend. I can spend any of my cards on. All right, so I guess I'm gonna take a chance. Probably shouldn't, but I'm going to take a chance anyway. I'm going to keep Danger Room Training, Game Time, and Innovation, and pitch the others, including the double. Oh, Honorary X-Men, Acute Control, and Shadowcat Surprise. Perfect. So I can get Honorary X-Men, Danger Room Training, and Game Time on him. All right, so let's ready ourselves up. I don't want to do anything with Iron Man just because I don't want him to take more damage. So, villain phase, we're getting 1 on the main. A second delay counter. He is scheming for 2, 3, 4. Ouch. So we are up to 8 out of 12 already. And our encounter card is Under Fire. Surge. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck. So I get 2. All right. Omnimorph Duplication. When revealed, if Absorbing Man has the various traits do things, so that's why I got rid of that one. So Metal gives us, give Absorbing Man a tough status card and heal 1 damage from him. Joke's on you, Absorbing Man. You're not damaged and you're already tough. Second one is Swinging Stone. Alter Ego. Absorbing Man schemes. If he has the stone trait, he does not. He gets a +1 scheme for this activation. Okay, so he's scheming for 2, 3... And if Absorbing Man has the stone or wood trait, you are stunned. Well, I have neither, so that's good. So we are at 11 out of 12, right off the bat. Whew. All right, well, our turn. So let us exhaust Kitty Pride to remove this from the game. Let's use Kitty's Room to draw a card, which is Shadowcat Surprise. All right, we're going to play Honorary X-Men onto Iron Man. So Honorary X-Men is... Oh, I have to flip up first because you can only play it if you've got the X-Men trait. So I am going to first use my Alter Ego action to flip over to solid form. Now I'm going to flip up into hero form. Now that I am an X-Men, I'm going to play Honorary X-Men, which... attached to a friendly character. He gets +1 hit points and gains the X-Men trait. So here we go. Iron Man is now an honorary X-Men. All right, we are also going to play Danger Room Training now. So Danger Room Training, again, attached to an X-Men ally, which he now is. 1 training upgrade per ally. Attached ally gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 hit points. So he is now a 3 thwart, 3 attack, 5 hit point ally. So let's put that on there. All right, we are now going to use Solid and then Innovation to play Shadowcat Surprise. So Innovation is, again, hero response. After you spend this card, heal 1 damage from an ally you control. There you go, Iron Man. Shadowcat Surprise is a 2-cost attack event. Deal 3 damage to an enemy and ready your hero. So just takes out the tough, but importantly, it does ready me. All right. We are now going to use Shadowcat Surprise to pay for Acute Control, which is a 1-cost upgrade. Hero response: after you ignore the guard or patrol keyword of a minion, exhaust Acute Control and deal 2 damage to that minion. I don't think that's going to come into play, but just wanted to get that out. Oh, I did attack with Shadowcat Surprise, so this does... I have the choice, and I'm going to choose to flip to phased. All right, we are going to thwart for 2 off of this. Iron Man is going to thwart for 3 off of this. Then we're going to play Game Time. Hero action: choose an ally with a training upgrade attached. Ready that ally and heal 1 damage from him. So, ready and heal. And then Iron Man is going to thwart again for another 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. That takes care of us there. Let us ready ourselves up. Oops. He does get the 1 consequential back. 5 cards. Phased and Confused. Quick Shift. First Aid. Airwalk. And Depth Focus. Alright. Villain phase. He gets 1 threat on the main, and he gets another delay counter. He comes to attack me. I'm going to play Quick Shift. Quick Shift is a 0-cost defense event. Hero interrupt: when the enemy attacks, if you are in solid mass form, change to phased. If you're in phase mass form, draw 2 cards. I'm in phase, so I get to draw 2 cards, which is First Aid and Plan B. And because it's a defense event, I'm considered defending for this attack. So he's attacking for 2. Star, put this into play. So we've got the last of the 4 environment cards. This one's Dense Forest. It's the wood trait, and the force response here is if it's undefended, take 1 indirect damage, 2 if there are 5 or more delay counters. So I take nothing because I officially defended and phased, so that has to flip over. All right, our encounter card is Delusion of Collusion. Attached to your identity, you cannot ready allies or persona support you control. Alter Ego action: discard an ally or persona support you control to discard this card. Oh, this is the card that I was worried about, frankly. Basically, until I can get another ally out, which I think are both in my discard pile, if I use Iron Man, I can't ready him again afterwards. That is an unfortunate one for me. Let me check here. There's only a total of 3 allies in here. Lockheed, which is Shadowcat's signature ally, and then Machine Man. There's Machine Man, and there's Lockheed. So I've got to cycle my deck, and I don't have any persona supports, so I have to cycle my deck before I can get rid of this. All right, well, that's going to be what it's going to be. So let's see, how do I want to do this? I think what we're going to do here is we are going to All right, we are definitely going to get phased and confused out. I'm just looking for how I want to pay it. I'm going to pay it definitely with Plan B, definitely with one of the first aids. And I think the other first aid. So I'll do 3 of that. So phase and confuse is a 3-cost upgrade. Hero form only, attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. Force interrupt when the attached enemy would attack, discard this card instead, then confuse the enemy. And then I think I'm going to use Airwalk to play for Deaf Focus, which is a 1-cost upgrade. Hero action, exhaust Deaf Focus, and reduce the resource cost of the next superpower card you play this turn by 1. Right, so we're going to have Shadowcat thwart 2 off of this. And just to keep it down, I'm actually, no, she's not gonna thwart 2. So Iron Man's gonna thwart 3 from this, and she's gonna punch for 2. And because I punched, I am going to flip over into phased form just in case he gets an extra activation. Right, now I'm going to ready myself up, and Iron Man can't ready. So we're going to get a phase strike, game time, power gloves, game time, and honorary X-Men. All right, gets 2 on the main, gets a 4th counter. He goes to attack. Phased and confused comes into play. So the attack is canceled, and he is now confused. We get our encounter card, which is Stall Tactics. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters on the main scheme. So there are 4, so I get 2 more threat on there. So we're back up to 4. All right, so my turn. I'm going to put Power Gloves on Iron Man for free because it's a 1-cost upgrade. He reduces it by 1. It is an armor and tech traded upgrade attached to an Avenger ally, max 1 per ally. Response, after the attached ally attacks or thwarts, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Right, I've got these lovely game times sitting in my hand that I could ready an ally and heal a damage from him. Unfortunately, I can't. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to use Deaf Focus and these 2 game times to pay for a phase strike. So hero action. So it is a 3-cost event with the attack and superpower trait, which is why Deaf Focus works. Hero action, attack. Deals 6 damage to an enemy. If you are in the phased form, you may discard an attachment with the text hero action or hero response from that enemy. I don't, but let's get some damage on him. So that takes him down to 7. I attacked, so I have to go solid. I will attack for, I'm going to thwart for 2. Let's just keep that down. I'm going to flip down. I'm going to use my alter ego ability to go back to phased. And I'm going to use my room to draw a card. First aid. Yeah, I'm going to use my honorary X-Men to pay for first aid. Let's just heal up Tony Stark while he is resting. All right, that is my turn. So we're going to ready ourselves up. Draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get Danger Room Training, Quick Shift, Honorary X-Men, another Phased and Confused, Call for Aid, and Sidearm. Alright, Villain Phase. He gets 1 on the main to go up to 3. He is now at 5 counters, so all his extra things will trigger. He would scheme, but he is confused. And our encounter card is Stall Tactics. Place 1 threat on the main for every 2 delay counters. So that's 2 again. All right, my turn. I'm going to exhaust my room to grab a card. I'm going to flip myself up. Actually, before I flip myself up, well, am I going to be attacking? No, I don't think I am going to be attacking. No, I won't be attacking, so... Actually, yeah, I will. Sorry, waffling back and forth here. Alter Ego, I'm going to flip up to solid form. I am going to come up. I am going to attach a sidearm to Iron Man, so he, along with the Iron Man suit, he has got power gloves and a gun, which is a 1-cost upgrade reduced to 0 cost by Iron Man. Attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +1 attack, and its attacks gain ranged. All right, so he is now swinging for 4 and is ranged. So he is a 3 thwart, 4 attack, ranged. All I have to do is be able to ready him. All right, so we are going to spend energy and call for aid to put another phased and confused on him. I'm going to put a honorary X-Men on me to get me up to 10 hit points. I am going to attack for 2, which will allow me to shift into phased form. And that is going to be it. I'm going to pitch Danger Room Training and keep Quick Shift. And ready everything I can. So we get 1. We finally loop our deck. So I have a chance of finding another ally. All right, so we got Quick Shift. I picked up Inspired, Strength, Intangible Interference, Shadowcat Surprise, and Shadowcat Surprise. No ally. Oh, wait a second. I only draw 5 cards in hero form. I'm just cheating here. All right. All right, so he's getting 1 threat on the main to go up to 6 out of 12. He would attack, but he is phased and confused. So cancel that and give him a confuse. And now we get 2 encounter cards. We first get Swinging Stone, when revealed, hero, absorbing man attacks you if you have the stone trait, which he does not. So he comes to attack. So I'm going to use Quick Shift to draw 2 cards. I draw Lockheed and Shadowcat Surprise. All right, so I can grab Lockheed out and then ditch him for Iron Man. So anyway, he's attacking for 2. Just 2. So I defended him phased. I take no damage, but I flip over to solid. Second is Piercing Thorns. When revealed, discard 1 card at random from your hand. If he has the wood trait, he does, discard 1 card you control. If this is Lockheed that he discards. I mean, it will be, because that's the way these things work. All right, let's see what we get. Well, it's Inspired. I was like to have it, but Inspired would have given Iron Man another +1/+1, but at least it wasn't Lockheed. So huzzah for that. All right, so my turn. We're going to thwart for 2. Taking this down to 4. We're going to use Solid and Def Focus to play Shadowcat Surprise. So that is 2 cost event, attack superpower traded hero action attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy, and ready your hero. So that takes him down to 2 damage. I am now going to spend 2 to get Lockheed out. Lockheed is a 2 cost, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit point ally with the Dragon and X-Men trait. Then it has a response after Lockheed enters play. If you were in solid form, oh, I did want to flip this after I did the attack, sorry. If you're in solid form, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If you're in phase form, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So we'll remove 2 threat from a scheme. Okay, and so Lockheed will... I guess Lockheed will just thwart for 1. Get this down low. I'm going to spend Shadowcat Surprise to play Running Interference. Running Interference is a 1 cost upgrade. Hero response. After you ignore the crisis icon on a scheme, exhaust intangible interference, remove 2 threat from that scheme. All for the deck thinning. All right, we are going to punch for 2, which does force me to flip over into solid form. So that moves us over into stage 3 of Absorbing Man. So stage 3 Absorbing Man is a 2 scheme, 3 attack with 16 hit points. He still gets the trait of each environment in play, but as a forced response now, after Absorbing Man activates against you, if he has the Ice or Stone trait, place 1 threat on the main scheme. If he has the Metal or Wood trait, take 1 indirect damage. And he currently has the Wood trait, so even after he schemes or attacks, I would take 1 indirect damage. I am now going to flip down. I am now going to take this alter ego action. Discard an ally or persona support you control. Thanks for stopping by, Lockheed. And discard this card. Finally, I can ready Iron Man again. All right. I'm going to use my alter ego action to flip back over into phase. Let's mill my deck a little bit. Get a Machine Man. I don't care about Machine Man. Actually, you know what? I do care about Machine Man because if I get another one of those things, I want to have another ally out. All right, that is everything. I get to ready everything else, and Iron Man is back from, I don't know, binge drinking or whatever Tony Stark does in his spare time to actually help out Kitty Pryde now. All right, so we're going to get Machine Man, Innovation, First Aid, and Phase Strike. So I can heal Tony Stark for 7 points of damage this turn if he somehow managed to take that many. All right. Villain phase. Second threat on the main. 6 delay counters. Going really slow this game, but that's okay. He would scheme, but he is confused. Our encounter card is Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. I will get rid of Acute Control because there are no guard or patrol minions in this set. All right, our turn. We are going to exhaust Kitty's room to draw a card. Phased and confused. I am going to use my power to flip over into solid form. And I'm going to flip up into hero form. Oh, forgot to put the hit points here. That is 16. All right, we are going to use solid, def focus. Actually, first we're going to punch with Iron Man. So he is attacking for 4. And then Power Glove goes off. So that's an extra 1. And he takes 1 consequential from that. Now we're going to use def focus, solid, and innovation to pay for Phase Strike. So I get to heal a damage from an ally. And this is deal 6 damage to an enemy. So 5 and 6. And I will flip over into phased form. Yeah, I'm going to pitch 2 first aids to get a Machine Man out. So Machine Man is a 2-cost, 1 thwart, 1 attack android ally with 3 hit points, and an interrupt. When Machine Man attacks or thwarts, spend up to 3 resources of any type. Machine Man gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each resource spent that way. So we are going to have him attack, and I'm going to pitch the 2 remaining cards in my hand with 2 resources to give him +2 attack. So he attacks for 3. So that puts Absorbing Man down to 2 hit points. And then Shadowcat rushes in and just punches him normally to finish things off. Okay, well, that took a little longer than anticipated thanks to that one card that turned off Iron Man for several turns. But as you can see, this is a lot of fun once you get him kitted out. And realistically, where was it? Oh, here we go. If I had managed to get inspired, again, it would have been free. So there's four points worth of upgrades on here that doesn't cost anything. Iron Man would have been a 4 thwart, 5 attack ally with ranged with, what is that? 3, 4, 5 hit points. And he does an additional damage anytime he thwarts or attacks. So you could effectively be attacking for 6, 5 times once if he's kitted out and fully healed. So 30 points of damage. That's not too bad. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll put a link to Villain Theory's deck in the comments below. He's got another week out where it is a Colossus Justice deck that does a lot of flipping back and forth. So I'm going to try that one out and coming up soon, and we'll see how that goes. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you want to see more of these, hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back again soon with another deck to run through this. Thanks, everybody.